Welcome to Engineers Academy. Subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to receive the notification for the upcoming videos. Now I am going to solve this problem 127. So in this problem it is said that if the magnitude of the moment of F about line CD is 50 Newton meter, right? So the magnitude of the moment of this F about this CD line is given, right? So let's suppose if I write that the magnitude of the force about CD is 50 Newton meter. So we are asked to determine the magnitude of this force F, right? So to solve this problem, first we are required to learn one new concept, and that concept is the moment about any arbitrary axis. Moment about any arbitrary axis. So in this problem, CD is any arbitrary axis that we are given the moment, the magnitude of the moment about that CD line, right? So this is any arbitrary axis, right? So let's suppose if to learn this concept, let's suppose if we consider this diagram, right? So in this diagram we have this force and this R, right? So if we take the cross product of this R and F, so we will be able to find this moment about O. So let's suppose if I write that moment about O will be equal to R cross F, and this will give us this moment vector. Since this MO is a moment vector, so we can resolve this moment vector into its components, right? So let's suppose this lambda is an arbitrary axis, and if we are asked to find the component of this MO about that lambda axis, is that arbitrary axis, and let's suppose if we are asked to find the moment about lambda, the component of MO along the lambda axis is, right? So if we are asked to find the magnitude of this M lambda, so what we will do, we will find the projection of this MO along this M lambda, right? So if we know this angle, let's suppose if we know this angle theta, right? So then M lambda, the magnitude of M lambda will be what? So it will be MO cos of theta. And what will be the direction of that? So the direction of that will be the N. This is the unit vector, right? So this means that if I write those, so it will be M N cos of theta. And let's consider that this N is a unit vector. The magnitude of this N is 1 units, right? So let's suppose if I represent this N in terms of units, so it will be its magnitude will be 1, and it will be only a unit vector, right? So let's suppose if I write, so this N vector is only a unit vector, so then M lambda, we can write that M lambda is M naught cos of theta into N, right? So in other words, we say that this is the component of M naught along the N axis, along the N direction, right? So this is that M lambda, right? So we can write this as like this as well. So it will be M naught dot N, right? So this is that M naught vector and this is that unit vector. So we can write, so if we take the dot product of M naught with the unit vector along any arbitrary axis, if we know the unit vector of a given arbitrary axis, so we will take the dot product with M naught and we will be able to find the magnitude of the moment along that arbitrary axis, right? So it's the same like that we used to find the component of a force along a given arbitrary axis, right? So we used to take the dot product of that. So now if I combine this, so then M lambda magnitude is equal to M naught vector dot the unit vector. So if I write, so then this is R cross F, right, dot N, and this is the magnitude. Remember, the dot product always gives us a scalar, so this will always gives a scalar, right? And this is known as scalar triple product, right? So this is the one concept that if you people want to find the moment about any arbitrary axis, so what we will do, we will take the cross product of R and F, and then we will take the dot product, this will give us vector, right? Remember, R cross F. This is a vector product, this is a cross product. So cross product always give us a vector. So if we take the dot product of this vector with a unit vector, the direction vector, so what we will get? We will get the component of this moment along that unit vector. So now we will use this same concept in this problem 127, and we will find this force F. Now let's suppose if we have this R vector, let's suppose if we have Rxi plus Ryj plus Rzk. We have this R, and let's suppose we have this F, let's suppose it is Fxi plus Fyj plus Fzk, right? And let's suppose the unit vector is alpha I plus beta j plus gamma k, right? So we will use the determinant method to find this m lambda, right? So how to find this m lambda? So we will write m lambda magnitude, and we will write these. So I will write Rx, Ry, Rz, then I will write Fx, Fy and Fz, and then I will write alpha, beta and gamma. And if we determine this magnitude, so that will give us a scalar quantity, and that will be the magnitude of this m lambda. So this is called the scalar triple product, right? So we will use this same concept in this problem. So now in this problem we are given this MCD. So consider this CD as that lambda axis, is that arbitrary axis, right? So we will write that this MC, let's suppose that first I find the moment about this D point, right? So what will be that moment? So that moment will be, let's suppose if I write that moment about D, right? So moment about D will be equal to R cross F, right? And let's suppose if I draw the R vector, so this will be our R vector from this D to this point A, right? So this will be our RDA vector. So let's suppose if I write here that this is RDA, right? So in this problem, first we will find this RDA vector, then we will find this F vector, and we will be able to find this MD vector. And as we are given the magnitude of this MCD, so then MCD, according to the previous theory, MCD magnitude will be equal to, this will be equal to the MD, the dot product of MD and the unit vector NCD, right? So this is that CD arbitrary axis, right? So we can combine this like this. So MCD will be equal to RDA cross F, and this is the cross part, right? So I will write it like this, dot NCD, right? So what we will do, we will find this vector, we will find force vector, and we will find this unit vector, and then we will apply the scalar triple product determinant method, and we will be able to find that force F. Let's suppose that this is our positive x-axis, right? So let's suppose if I write that this is positive x-axis, and let's suppose that this is positive y-axis, and let's suppose that this direction is positive z, right? So if I write that this is positive z, so to find this RDA vector, first we will find the coordinates of this point A and the coordinates of this point B. So now what will be the coordinates of point A if I write? So the coordinates of point A, if this is the origin, so in the x direction we need to travel 0.2 meters. So I will write 0.2, right? And since this A point is on the x-axis, so there is no need to travel along y, and there is no need to travel along z. So these are the coordinates of point A. Now what are the coordinates of point D, right? So I will, as we can see that to reach this point D, we will travel 0.4 meters along y, and since this point D is on the y-axis, so there is no need to travel along x, and there is no need to travel along z. So this is 0 and this is 0, and along y we will travel 0.4, right? So these are the coordinates of A and D, right? Now to find the R vector, let's suppose if I write that RDA vector, so what will be that vector? So we will subtract the coordinates of A from D, right? So I will write 0. Sorry, we will subtract the coordinates of D from A, right? So I will write 0.2. So to find this RDA vector, what we will do, we will subtract the coordinates of D from A. So I will write 0.2 minus 0 I plus 0 minus 0.4 j plus 0 minus 0 k, right? So this will give us 0.2 I minus 0.4 j. So this is the RDA vector. Now the next vector that we need to find is this force vector. So we will find the force vector. So force vector will be equal to the F magnitude, which is F, which is required to determine, and the unit vector. Let's suppose if I write that the unit vector is AB, right? So this unit vector. So force, let me write that this is K. So force magnitude, and this will be AB vector divided by AB magnitude. So for this we need to find the coordinates of point B in order to find that AB vector. So what are the coordinates of point B? So to reach this point B from this origin, we need to travel 0.2 plus 0.2 along X. So it is 0.4, and along Y we need to travel 0.4, and along Z we need to travel 0.2 in the negative Z direction. So I will write minus 0.2. So these are the coordinates of point B. So we can write the force vector like this. So we can write that the force vector, so let me write it here. So let's suppose that the force vector is equal to F and AB vector. So what we will do, we will subtract the coordinates of A from B. So I will write 0.4 minus 0.2 I plus 0.4 minus 0 j plus minus 0.2 minus 0 k, and also we will find the magnitude and we will divide this vector by its magnitude. So this is 0.2, right? So I will write 0.2 whole square plus 0.4 whole square, and this is minus 0.2 whole square, and we'll take the under the root 2, right? So this will be equal to F vector, and first let me find this magnitude. So if I write this force vector, so it will be 4 0.2 I plus 0.4 j minus 0.2 k, right? And this magnitude comes out to be under the root 6 divided by 5, right? So if I write it like this, so it will be 5 divided by under the root 6, right, multiply by this, right? So this is F in 5 divided by under the root 6 and will be multiplied by this, right? So if I multiply 5 with all these, so this will be equal to, so the force vector will be equal to F divided by under the root 6 and 5 into 0.2, so this will become 1, so it will be I, and 5 into 4 will be 2.0, so it will be 2j, and again it will be minus 1k, right? So this is the force vector, 1I plus 2j minus k and F divided by under the root 6. So this is that force vector, this is that R vector, right? And we need to determine this unit vector as well, NCD. So let's suppose if I write that NCD unit vector will be equal to CD vector divided by the CD magnitude. So now we need to determine the coordinates of this point C as well, right? So if I write the coordinates of this point C, let's suppose if I write it here, so if this is the origin, so we only need to travel minus 0.2 along K. So 0, 0 and minus 0.2, right? So these are the coordinates of C in meters, and this is also in meters, right? So now to find this CD vector, so I will write that NCD unit vector. So we will subtract the coordinates of C from D, right? So this will be 0 minus 0 I, right, from here, right? So we will subtract the coordinates of C from D. So 0 minus 0, 0.4 minus 0. So I will write plus 0.4 minus 0 J plus 0 minus 0.2. So it will become plus 0.2 K, right? So this will be, if I write, so this is that CD vector. So now if we write this CD vector, so it will be 0.4 J plus 0.2 K. And if we determine the magnitude of this CD vector, so it will be equal to 0.4 square plus 0.2 square under the root 2. So if I solve this, so this comes out to be under the root 5 divided by 5, right? So this is that CD magnitude. Now to find this, so we will write NCD, right? And 1 divided by the CD magnitude. So 1 by this will be 5 divided by under the root 5 multiplied by 0.4 J plus 0.2 K. And if I simplify this, so this will be 1 by under the root 5, and if I multiply this 5 inside, so this will become 5 into 0.4, so 2J plus 5 into 0.2 will be 1, so this will be K. So this is NCD unit vector, right? So now we know this moment arm vector, we know this force vector, we know this NCD vector. So what we will do, we will apply the scalar triple product, right? So how to apply that scalar triple product? So we will write that moment about CD magnitude is equal to, so I will write the components of R, right? So this is 0.2I minus 0.4J. So I will write 0.2 minus 0.4, and here I will write 0, right? And then I will write the force vector. So force vector is 0.2, sorry, this one. So this is 1I, right? So I will write 1, 2 and minus 1, right? And I will write this CD vector, right? This CD unit vector. So I will write 2J plus 1K, and here is 0, right? And what we will do with these factors, 1 by under the root 5 and this F divided by under the root 6, right? So we can multiply both of these. So we will write them here, right? So this will be, if I multiply both of these, so this will be 5 divided by under the root 6 multiplied by 1 by under the root 5. So this will be equal to 5, this will be equal to F1s are F, and this will be 6 into 5, so this will be F divided by under the root 30. So here we will multiply this determinant with this as well, right? So I will write that multiply this by 5 divided by under the root 30. To find this MCD, what we will do, we will write that MCD, and this will give us scalar, right? So it will not be a vector, so there is no I, J and K, right? So this will give us a scalar, so this will be equal to, so for this I will hide this column, this row and this column, and we will take the determinant and we will multiply the determinant with 0.2. So I will write 0.2, and this determinant will be 2 into 1, 2 minus 2 into minus 1, so 2 into minus 1, right? Then I will hide this column, right? And we will take the determinant of this, and with this minus 0.4, what we will do, we will write minus, this is the determinant method, so minus into minus 0.4 into this determinant. So this determinant is 1 into 1 minus 0, so 1, and then I will hide this column, so this is 0, right? So 0 multiplied by any determinant, so this will become 0, so I will write plus 0, and this whole thing will be multiplied with this F divided by under the root 30. So now if I simplify this, so this will be 0.2 and this will be 2 plus 2, right? So this will become plus 2, and this will become 0.4 plus 0. So if I solve this, so this comes out to be 6 divided by 5, right? And this whole is multiplied with f divided by under the root 30. So this will become 5 into under the root 30, right? And this is equal to MCD. And we are given that MCD is equal to 50 Newton meter. So we are required to find this F, right? So F will be equal to 50 into 5 under the root 30 divided by 6. So this will give us that force magnitude. So if I solve this, so we will get the force magnitude. So when I solve this, so the magnitude of force is 228 Newton, right? So this was required in this problem. So again, remember that this scalar triple product will always give us the scalar magnitude, right? So it will never give us the vector, it will always give us the magnitude. So I hope you people would have understood this scalar triple product and how to find the moment about an arbitrary axis.